Hello, trading is closed on October 22nd, 2018. We always review our calls first. I said the most likely thing would be a gap and the prompt move outside of yesterday's range. The gap and the move don't have to be in the same direction, but I thought it was more likely than not the gap would be down. So there wasn't a lock. Well, after I made the call, futures gapped down, had the big move. The low here was 27.4975. It's trades at a 2-point premium to cash, and that would be in the support level from this price target. So as far as futures were concerned, it acted just as I thought it would. As far as cash was concerned, we gapped up, promptly moved outside the day's range, and that satisfies the prediction. Now the day's low is 27.49.22, and coming within 20 cents of our target might seem to be close enough because I don't have any tolerance on ultimate targets. So this remains out there. When you do have a direct hit like this, if it holds, you can tend to get a pretty good move in the other direction. But of course, by the time you know it's going to hold, it's a bit late in the day. This was the pattern with the early low. Tomorrow's pattern has the early high. Tends to have an early high, a late low. Tends to be a down a day. And if it's an up a day, it's usually going to rally early, first 1 to 2 hours. During the day, MEJT gave a sell signal. There was a target and that was hit. Now, when I wrote my book, I didn't pay much attention to these engulfing targets we talked about previously. But here are your 3 bars of the morning pattern. Bars 2 and 3 collectively traded over and under bar 1. And that means 95% of the time before the next trading a day is over, Standard & Poor's 500 should trade under and over this bar as well. So even though we got the sell signal, MEJT said we were going to go over this price here. Again, the system gives price targets, doesn't specifically give entries and exits. When you did have the rally, system said it was false and prices would retrace into this range, which they did. Here it said ultimately lower prices would print. They did, but it says the move was false and prices would retrace, which they did. Nothing new for tomorrow. The day tomorrow usually has a negative spin to it, and with the market as negative as it is, you can just take a look at what's happened to breadth here. It wouldn't surprise me if we gapped under these lows, but it certainly isn't required, and there really is strong support here, as we'll see. So I might be getting too cute for my own good here, but despite the very negative picture, we have a good chance of gapping up tomorrow. Doesn't mean that we'll close up, but we have this wall into the close. We have support from the TDST line on the weekly chart. We have 2 days of moving down all day long. We still can't close under any of these lows, or this low, or this low. You'll notice how we've said there tended to be, so this gap tended to fill, and it tends to be support right under the low of the wall, and that's where we found the support. So that worked. We can forget about this from now on. But all these lows have been holding. Here's your GaN fan lines right at this low. Don't forget we had a volume spike right at this low. Wouldn't change anything in the long run. If this were an A and that were a B and that's a C. It doesn't have to work that way, but it's not impossible. So the long-term picture is pretty bleak here. We've got a long way to go on the downside. But unless we gap under these lows, even though tomorrow tends to be a day which drops all day, and even though futures are dropping as I'm recording this, I can't rule out gapping up, perhaps smartly at the open. And that's today's call.